Hello, and welcome back to trainingride.com learning series of Selenium RC Server. In this video, we'll be talking about how to get started with Selenium RC Server. Um, what you could be doing in terms of testing your applications using RC Server, what kind of code you would be writing, what kind of tools you would be using. So that's basically what we will be covering in this short video. All right, to get started, the tool which we'll be using to automate or write your code so that you could use Selenium RC Server to test your web application is called Eclipse. Well, there are many tools out there, but I happen to like Eclipse, so I would be using Eclipse to do that. If you go to www.eclipse.org, you could download the tool, and once you install the tool, basically this is what you're gonna get. It is basically a package. It doesn't get installed. It's not writing anything into your registries or anything. So here we go. After I kind of like downloaded it and extracted the package, this is what I get. It puts a shortcut on my desktop, on my start bar and all that. So I just double click on that, and I'm starting my Eclipse. All right. Now, what this tool does is it allows you to write Java code. What Workspace do is whatever Java code you write, it basically goes and then saves in this particular folder. You could always go browse and then change the folder. Right now on my machine, I have it on Workspaces on C drive, and that works for me. So I'm just gonna hit OK. What it's going to do right now is allow me or take me into an environment where I could be writing my code. If you have written any code in any language, then you would know that this particular tool, what you're seeing here, allows you to open a project and then write your code. So this tool is not any different from any other tools. Integrated development tools like Visual Studio or any other tools which you have used. These are some of my previous projects which I've used for my previous classes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started. So I'm going to say file, new, and new what? New. Either I could go with project and then select from the templates, or I could just go with Java project. So let me just go with the project so that you could see that it also gives you the option of which particular project you want to or type of project you want to go and then select. So it's right here, my Java project, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, in the next step, it asked me to give it the name of the project. So the project name, in this case, I'm just going to be doing what? It's an eBay application which I would be testing. So I would say eBay demo, or rather eBay RC server demo 1. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to leave the rest of the settings as is. All right, in my class, I'm going to go over line by line and try and explain to you what each of these things are going to do. In this case, I'm just going to quickly go and then hit next. While over here, we have the option of adding the external libraries to this project. Of course, this is a Java project, right? Now, I could be doing anything with this project, meaning I could be writing a Java code to build to test, right? Now, notice the word that I said, to build or to test. Now, building is you could be writing any simple application in Java, and then you are a programmer. You're building that application. In our case, we're not building an application. We're testing the application. So, in order for us to test the application, we have to use some tool. So the tool which we'll be using is Selenium RC Server. So what I'll do is I'll go into this library tab and try and add those Selenium external jars here. So when I click on that, it'll take me onto my file system, and on my machine, on my C drive, I created a folder called Selenium, and in there I've created a folder called all jars, and I have downloaded whatever I need to do my work. And what I need is basically some of the jar files, because I might go in and I might interact with Selenium server. I might interact with JUnit 4. So I have these jar files. I might go and interact with my SQL server database. So these are all those jar files. Now, in my class, I'm gonna walk you through as what exactly these jar files can do, and how to download, where to download, and all that good stuff. So, okay. Notice I'm not selecting anything from here, because I'm just trying to show you what different ways you could go and add those external jar files into your project. So we're creating a Java project. So we came in here, we named the project, and then we came to this next step. Here I have the option of adding any external libraries. Even though I could go and then click on this add external jars and add the Selenium Java jar, but I'm not going to do it from here, only because I will show you how to do it from how the same process can be done from in some other way. All right, I'm gonna hit finish, and as you see here, it had created this eBay RC server demo 1. So if I expand, if I click double click on that, there are as you see, there are two things in here. There's something called a source folder, and then this is the area where it had added the jar files. Since we did not add any jar files, you don't see any other thing except the JRE system library. This is the Java jar files. I mean, because it's a Java project, as you can see here, it's a Java project. So it had added by default, without even asking you, it had added that jar files. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, we'll be writing some code, right? So I'm going to go into this source. I double click on source. In fact, since it is empty, there is nothing in here, so it's not going to show, unlike any other project here. If I double click on that, notice that it shows me the default package, and I could go in there, new user registration. As you can see here, I've done all that good stuff. Anyways, so let us come back to our project. Since there is nothing in here, so why don't we go and then create? What can we create in the source folder? I right click on that, and I want to go and create what? Create a class in here. So I have to, okay, how did we start it? We started Eclipse and we created a Java project, and that's an empty project. In order for us to write the code, I have to go and I have to create a class, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm creating a class. So here I go, click on the create class. It is asking me for the name of the class. In this case, I'm going to, my class is going to be eBay. Let's say we'll be searching something in eBay, so I can say eBay search, right? eBay search. All right, now there are a lot of other things in here, like the modifiers, which talks about the scope. So again, in my class from trainingrite.com, we will be going through different things. Whatever these options are, I'm going to go and explain you each of these things step by step. Right now, I'm just going to quickly go in here and say, okay, which method stubs would you like to create? I want to have like a public static void main. So I'm going to select that. What this is going to do, this is if you are coming from, if you have done any work in, let's say, C or C++ programming, you know that when you start a project, you want to go to a method, and that method, without even calling that method, whatever code you put in that method will get executed. So likewise here, that method is called the main method. So I'm just saying that give me that option. I'm trying to configure through this new Java class. I'm trying to configure and say that automatically put the skeleton code for me in there, and I will, whatever code I am going to write, I would write in this public main method. Okay, more on that when you join my class from trainingrite.com. Okay, I hit finish, and as you see, this is what we get. This is the public class and the name of the class, and in there I have one method or one function, and that method by default is public static void main. So anything I do, I will be doing in here for now, and that will, when I run this from here, that will get executed. Okay, now the question is, what am I going to do? Now, I'll just quickly show you how to use Java code, and the Java code which I will be writing here will be the Selenium RC server code, meaning that Java is the language. I will be using Java as the language, but I will be using some of the classes, right? Some of the functionality, ready-made functionality, which is available to me from Selenium. And using that, I will test a web application or a website. So the website which I'm going to test is eBay. So how can I write the code in here so that I can use Selenium and tell Selenium to open that eBay site for me? Okay, for that, I have to go and I have to use a Selenium class. So I will say, okay, Selenium, I will type Selenium, and Selenium is the class. Now notice, as soon as I type Selenium, it is giving me this red X in here. So we're going to be talking about how we can be fixing all that. And as you go further, I will show you in this short video, I will show you, how to write the code, how to fix certain things. And then in our class, we have a 6 weeks class on Selenium. You'll be learning a lot in that class. I'll be showing you every little thing to a major thing which you would learn in Selenium. All right, let's continue and talk about what is the goal here. The goal here is I am writing the Java code. The Java code will be employing or using Selenium classes. And what is the goal? What is the task? The task is to open, asking Selenium that on your behalf, automate this so that it could go and open eBay site. And once it opens the eBay site, we'll be doing a lot of other things in that, like searching for a particular product and clicking on buttons, typing in edit boxes or text boxes and stuff like that. All right, so to get started, I have to have the Selenium class. So I say Selenium as the Selenium class. In object-oriented programming, what happens is if you want to use a class, then you have to instantiate an object out of that class, right? Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, it might sound like gibberish to some of you guys, but basically what I'm talking about is it's like you have an object and then you are telling that object to do some work, right? But that object comes from a class. So my first line is trying to or creating that object, or like a baby is born. So likewise, an object is born. So you don't say an object is born. You say you want to instantiate an object from a class, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to instantiate an object. So the object would be, let's say, Selenium. And where does the Selenium obj is Selenium is the name which I've given to the object. And where is this object coming from? It is coming from the Selenium class. So those two lines is just the declaration, and the instantiation is with the word new, and I will say default Selenium. Don't worry about these things because in my class I'm going to quickly walk you through all of these things. Okay, so this default Selenium class takes certain parameters. The parameter is let's say localhost, meaning that where is my RC server, right? My RC server, which is a Selenium RC server, is residing on the same machine, so I use the word localhost. Let's say if it was on a different machine, then I would have given the IP address of that machine or a domain name of that machine, and that way we could do a distributed or remote invocation of a class or running of that server. All right, don't want to get confuse you, so let's keep it to the basic. All right. The second argument is the port number. Right. In my case, I'm going to be using a port number 5555. You could use any port number as long as that port number is not reserved. In my case, I'm going to be using 5555. The next argument is the type of browser you want to open. So in my case, I want to use Firefox. So I will say Firefox as the browser. And finally, my last argument is the application URL. So in my case, I want to go to ebay.com. All right, and terminate that with a semicolon. Okay, simple line of code. Simple line of code. All right, now notice that there are some squiggly lines right here. The squiggly lines. See that squiggly lines? Squiggly line here and a squiggly line here, right under Selenium and right. And if I bring my mouse and hover over it, it is trying to give me a fix for that, right? Now that fix which you are seeing, you have to be smart enough to understand like why that problem had happened. The reason that problem had happened is because it is trying to complain that your Eclipse, this is Eclipse, right? In Eclipse, I've written Java code, and using the Java code, I want to use the Selenium classes. So it is trying to tell me that, hey, I don't know what this default Selenium means. I don't know what this Selenium means. So now, remember, using Java code, I'm trying to, employ or use Selenium code. But did I add Selenium libraries to this project? Remember the first time I showed you that go and add jar files and all that, but I did not complete that step, right? So I wanted to show you this error. I wanted to show you this error and then how to fix things like that. So here we are. So we see that it is trying to complain. So what we have to do is we have to add that external library. So how can we add that external jar files? We are in this project, right? eBay RC server demo. So I'm going to right click on that, and then I will go all the way down here to properties. And when I click on the properties, it will bring me this window. And in this window, if you take a look into the third one, which is Java build path, let us click on that. And once you click on that, it brings you back to the same thing. If you remember from before, this is libraries. And here, what libraries we have added here? We have added only, I did not even add that. That got added because it's a Java project. So now we have to add, which one? We have to add the Selenium one. So I'm going to click on add external jars. And remember, I told you that I have downloaded that. Now, where did I download from, and how did I extract this? All that will be in that course, right? In my Selenium course. All right. So I am adding this Selenium Java 2.0 B2. Now, at this time, when I'm recording this video, this happens to be the version of that. So I have selected that. Notice that I've selected that, and I will hit what? I will hit OK. Very good. Once I do that, now here, if you see, I have a new kind of like a folder which is referenced libraries. And when I double click on that, here is my Selenium Java, right? Very good. Excellent. Okay. But you might say, well, the squiggly lines are still there. They did not go away. Sure. Now we will fix it. So I'm going to hover over it. When I hover over it, it says that, read the first one. It says that default Selenium cannot be resolved to a type. 3 quick fixes available. Number 1, import default Selenium. So when you see import default Selenium, that means that, okay, you have added it into the project, but it is not there in this class, right? So we come in here and then we will click on this import. And as soon as you did that, it did 2 things. It added this line to the top, which is import com.thoughtworks.selenium default. Now, ThoughtWorks is the name of the company who created Selenium, right? So that's why they have given that. And again, in my course, I'm going to explain you the meaning of this import, what it can do and whatnot. Alrighty, so that part worked. Now, how about the Selenium? Okay, bring your mouse there, and it tells you import Selenium. So I'm going to click on that, and hopefully that will go away. What? So so far so good. So what is my first line? My first line says that I want to use an object called obj Selenium And I want to go and then open this site by using the Selenium server, which is running on my local machine, and it is running on a port number 5555. So using that, open a Firefox and go to ebay.com. Now, if I run this, will it do it? Well, no, because I have to start the server. So I'm going to say obj selenium in dot. When I say obj selenium dot, it will give me in this window, it gives me every possible, this object, right? The object can do lot of things, right? So these are all the different things the object Selenium class or the Selenium object can do. So what we want to do, we want it right now, we want it to start. So I am saying start. So I will select start from here. Start. There you go. I will say start and then terminate that line with a semicolon. So this is going to start the server. Now there's another command which we have to do, which is obj selenium, and we will say dot open, right? Okay, now that I have started you, I want you to open what? Now notice the argument it is taking. So in the argument I can type the path, the specific path, this path again, or I can use a shortcut, which is just use this /, right? If you do that /, that means that whatever address I have given it to you here, just go and open that, right? Very good. At this point, it should be able to do it, right? But depending on what size of the browser you have, that browser might be small or big or whatever. So we probably want to maximize, let's say, the browser. So how can we maximize the browser? Okay, we're gonna stop here. I'm gonna show it to you but let us run this and see what is happening. Now, before we run, there is a condition here. The condition is you have to make sure that your RC server is up and running on your machine. See this, whatever I have here, right? This is my RC server. I have this RC server up and running on my machine. But me being a good guy, I'm going to showing you how to run this, right? How to start this. So I'm just going to close that and then I'll start it again. The way I'm going to start that is I can do I can do a CMD, and this will bring me my DOS prompt, right, or command prompt, command window. Here I'm gonna go and start my Selenium server. Now, for me to start my Selenium server, I have to write a command. For that command, I will do a CD and dot that will bring me back to wherever I am. I was in C drive, users folder, and trainer folder. I was there, and I want to come back to C drive. So I came back to C drive. Now I want to go to a folder called Selenium because I have downloaded everything in Selenium. So if I go to this Selenium folder, and in this Selenium folder, basically I have that jar file, which is going to go and open my RC server. Now, if I take you there, let's see. Okay, this is my C drive, this is my Selenium, and this is my all jars, right? Okay, what I want to do is I want to start this Selenium server standalone 2.5.0. There's a newer version also 2.8.0. I mean, doesn't matter, any one you want to start. I want to start that, right? So where is it? It is in Selenium and it is in all jars, right? All jars, and it is there. So let me navigate there and open that. So for me to do that, CD all jars, right? And in here, I have to type that command. The command is I will do Java space -jar space, and the name of that folder, right? The name of the folder is or the jar file is Selenium hyphen server hyphen standalone hyphen 2.5 oh. All right. Okay, let me see if I could remember that. Okay, Selenium hyphen server hyphen standalone hyphen 2.5.0. Okay. Now, after I do that, I will give a space hyphen port number. And I want to do it, let's say, on port number, what did we use here on the port number? 5555, right? So let me do 5555, right? By the way, before this, I have to put jar and hyphen port 5555. I guess let us hit OK. As you can see here, it says launching, right? And when you see this all the way in the bottom, right, which is it is going to stop here, that org openqa jetty util, that means that it is working right now. So I have my RC server up and running. So very good. My RC server is in the bottom, it is up and running. Now what I have to do is I have to see if I could run this code. Okay, for me to do that, I'm just gonna go. We have typed the code. Let us run it. So I'm gonna hit run, and see here in the bottom, it is going to open now. In the bottom, here it is. It opens this. It opened that, and then it opened. See here in the bottom, it is opening eBay, right? Well, that's what we want, right? That's what we wanted. We wanted to open eBay, so it did open. So you might wonder, like, what is this, right? This is the the way you can interact and see all the, like, you could call it like a dashboard for your RC server. So anything the RC server is doing, you have the list of the commands in here. You don't really have to worry about it. You don't even have to, unless and until something goes wrong, you should come in here and see if that command got executed. We gave our commands here, right? The commands were start and open and all that, and that's basically what it did. So if we go here, it is saying that okay, it did open that, right? Again, you don't have to worry about that. So but RC server opens it automatically. So we told it to go and open the eBay site, and that's what it did. If you see here, that's what it did. Unfortunately, the size of the browser, as you can see, it's like, very small. So what we want to do next is I want to automatically, when the script runs, when the code runs, I want it to maximize it. So how do we do that? Okay, first of all, I'm going to close these browsers just so that there's nothing in there. Okay, how do we do that? For that, it's a simple command. Obj object, right? My Selenium object. I'm telling my Selenium object, hey Selenium object, I want you to go and do what? That window or the browser. Window maximizes the method. So I want you to maximize that and hit a semicolon. So what it is going to do, it is going to maximize it right now. After it maximized, I'll just put one more command, which is obj selenium dot. I want you to have the focus on that. So window focus, meaning that that's where it'll be sitting, waiting for my command. Now I have given these two things, right? Now let us see if it accept my command and if it automatically opens it and maximize it and all that. Okay, here we go. I run it now, and I'm waiting for Firefox to bring up. And here is my Firefox bringing it up. Right, and see that it did maximize it. It did maximize it, right? Well, you might say that, wow, okay, this is good, but opening a browser, going to an application is just one part of it. Now, after going there, you want to do something, right? Like, what do you want to do? You might say that, how about if we type something into this box, right? How about if we type something into it? Or how about, see here, all categories. It has all categories in it, right? If I drop down, I see that, okay, there is books in there, there is collectibles, there is computer and networks. So how about if I tell it to type something, if I tell it to select something, if I tell it to click something? How can I do that? Well, that's easy. We can do that too. How can we do that? Okay, here it is. I am going to quickly show you. I don't even know how long this video has gone, but let me just quickly go ahead and do that. For that, what I'm going to do is I will say, hey, obj Selenium, right? My Selenium object, right? In the Selenium object, you want to do what? You want to type something, right? Okay. Now, I mean, I want you to watch it and see how I will try to do it, and then I will show you the problem first, or the issue which we will face if you quickly jump into something and try to code, because we are this is like the very first few videos we are talking about, right? But once you get deep into the course, then you don't have to worry about all these very basic things, right? So, but let's see what is happening here. So if I say obj selenium dot what? Obj selenium dot, and I say that, okay, I want you to go and type. So if I say type, it is, I will select type. Notice the argument. It is asking you, okay, you want me to type. Where do you want me to type? So that argument is on our eBay, right? On the eBay thing, where should I go and where should I type in eBay? So if I bring up the eBay page, and let us see where we want to go and type eBay page. So where do we want to go and type? We want to go and type here, right? Type here. Okay, but I don't know the name of that box. I don't know anything about that box. So how can I tell here in the first argument that go and type there? Well, there are two ways of doing it, right? Either I should quickly go and look into what is called the view source, right? Right click on that and go into the view page source, and you see all of these things, and I want to find out what is the name of this object. But that will be like almost like craziness, because I don't know what this object is, where this object is, right? So what you can do is you can use a tool. There is a free tool out there called Firebug, right? And here is that Firebug. I have downloaded that Firebug on my machine. And what that Firebug does is, Firebug, by the way, you could go to Google and say download Firebug, and then it'll help you download the Firebug. It is an add-on which sits on Firefox, and what it does, it helps you go and figure out, I clicked on that and I said, this is my bottom here, down here, this is my Firebug, right? So if I want to go and if I want to find out the name or any of the properties of any of the object on my browser, right, on my application, I can use Firebug, and there's another add-on on Firebug called Firepath, and if you use that, of course, in my course I'm going to show you where to download, how to install, and everything. In this quick demo, I'm just trying to show you how to do certain things as a web testing using Selenium. So I'm going to go and say click. I clicked on that, and I want to go and I want to find out about this guy, right? Now notice that wherever I go, it is kind of like highlighting. If you have done QTP, this is like object spy, right? So I go, I highlight on that, Once I click on that, it will show me. I clicked on that, and right here it shows me many things about it. See here, it says that the thing which is highlighted here is input ID equals quotation begins underscore NKW, right? And blah 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 blah, right? So it has all that information in here. Now up here there's something called XPath, and in the XPath you have dot forward slash and square bracket at ID equals. Okay, Again, in my course, I'm going to walk you through everything about what is XPath, how we can, grab the XPath of any element on a page. Basically, XPath is nothing but it's a unique way of identifying any element or any object on your application on that page, right? So that's what. Now that was a mouthful. I do understand that I did not do a good job trying to tell you, but again, um, you know. Uh, in my course, I spend like a good amount of time trying to explain you everything about XPath. You cannot be doing you cannot be a good Selenium, automation engineer if you don't know how to use XPath. So I have to spend a lot of time in explaining you XPath. But in this quick demo, what I'm trying to show you is, okay, I'm going to be using this XPath. So with the XPath, I copy XPath and come back to my Selenium, my Eclipse, and in the argument, I will type that code, right? I will type that within the double quotes. I will type the XPath. So here is my XPath, my first, oops, here. Okay. Here is my first argument, and the second argument to that is okay. We are typing in that box, right? So this is the XPath of that box. XPath is nothing but uniquely identifying an element on a page, meaning that it is like knowing the social security number. It is like knowing your uniquely identifying an object on the page. So how can you uniquely identify me if you know my social security number? I'm talking about the government, right? Or if you know my name, right? My name. So when you call my name, then this is so. I mean, I respond. So when you enter the XPath of an element, you are interacting with that element. Okay, now that we are interacting, the second argument is, what do we want to type in there? So if I put this in double quotes, whatever I want to type. So let's say I want to type Lakers tickets. So Lakers tickets is what we want to type. All right. So what did we do here? We told obj Selenium object to go and type in this object, right? In this object. Now you would say, what's all that gibberish? That's the XPath, right? And we know how to find the XPath because you have to download the Firebug, and then there's also another add-on utility called Firepath, and when you do that, it gives you the XPath of any element, and then you go and use the second argument, which is this, right? Okay, so let us see if this works. So if I run it, what it has to do, it says there are some errors. Okay, the errors here is, I think we deleted, okay, yeah, I deleted that by mistake. Okay, so I'm running it right now. So when I run it, here is my Firefox, and notice it is opening that, and it is going to maximize, and there it is, Lakers text, right? Lakers text, right? There it is, right? Okay, very good. Now you just don't want to just type there and then sit, right? What do you want to do? Probably you want to click on that, right? You want to click on that. So if you want to click on this, right, you have to find out some characteristics or some properties of this element. What properties? Probably it's XPath, right? How do you do that? Well, you come in here, you go there, and here I will say, okay, inspect an element. I click on that, come here, and I will click on that, and it gives me that XPath, and the XPath of that is right here. So this is, now you say, how did you do that? Well, it's easy. It's really easy. Trust me, it is easy. You have to download Firebug, and you have to download Firepath, and where to download, how to install, and all that. Again, in my course from trainingrite.com, I will show you each and everything, right? How to download, how to install. So once you do that, you will click on this inspect an element, and then once you click on that, you will go and you will find this element. You take the XPath of that, you come back into your here, and then you want to click on that, right? So you will say obj Selenium, hey Selenium object, please do this for me. Do what? Dot. You say that click, right? Okay, click. Now it'll say, okay, I am clicking. It'll say where, on what am I clicking? So the argument, first argument is you are clicking on that. You're clicking on that. On that. On that what? You're clicking on this XPath, and this XPath uniquely identifies what? It uniquely identifies this one, right? So we want to click on that one. So see how we are writing this code. We are writing this code, and when I started with, like, you know, how to create this project, how to come in here, how to go in there and write your first line of code, which is like employing your RC server, starting the RC server, going to that that location, which is ebay.com, maximizing the window, setting the focus on that, and then typing in their Lakers ticket and then clicking on that. Now if you want to, let's say, wait, because it does things so fast that you might really want to you know, slow it down. So the way you can slow it down is if you say obj selenium dot set speed, right? If you say set speed, you could in the first argument you could put in there, let's say I'm gonna put like 2000, right? Okay, so what it is going to do, it is between the lines, between each individual line of code in here, it is going to give it a pause of like that 2000, right? So it's setting the speed of that. Okay, very good. Let me just run this, right? There we go. We run it, and let's see what it does. I'm gonna bring up it is trying to bring up Mozilla Firefox, and when it does that, in the bottom you can see that it's trying to open that. Okay, and here we are. It did type Lakers text, it did click on that, and then we came to a different page, and it is showing me the results here. It is showing me the results here that there are on ebay.com for Lakers tickets, there are 2,547 results it found. So it did that. It went to that and it typed it in there, and then it clicked on that button, and then it brought so many results. Now, well, that's Selenium RC server for you to begin with, right? Now imagine what we'll be doing in this course. We will be learning quite a bit in our course. So when we go into our course, you know, trainingrite.com, here is everything, you know, whatever the different courses which we are offering. So it's the Selenium training. In Selenium training, we will be doing whatever we'll be doing. So everything is listed in here, you know, different things which we'll be covering as a part of this course. So I will show you how to begin with Selenium IDE, and we'll go. There are a lot of free videos which are posted on youtube.com and also from my trainingrite.com website. You could go and you could take a look as how to do Selenium IDE, where to download, how to install, and stuff like that. So we're going to be spending a little time on IDE, and then we'll be jumping into Selenium RC server. I'll be showing you how to download and how to configure RC server. How we can, this I have already shown you right now, starting Selenium server manually. I very quickly I showed you object recognition using XPath, writing test scripts, building the test results in Selenium. I showed you this. Now parameterization and XPath from configuration. Now this is where all the fun begins, when we do parameterization. Then we'll be going and then building what is called a framework. The framework which I'll be building will be a data-driven framework. A lot of our data will be sitting either in Excel or in XML or in a database, SQL Server or Access database, and I'll be bringing all that and then showing it to you. We'll be customizing some reports. So you'll be learning a lot in that course. We will be testing at least a minimum of 3 applications as a part of our learning of Selenium. Well, if you like what you're seeing here, please do visit our website, www.trainingrite.com, and look into a lot of other courses which we are offering through our course catalog. You could see what different courses we are doing. SOAP UI web services, we are doing BA, QTP, Selenium, SharePoint, and all that good stuff. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you back in another video sometime soon.